this computer. Hello, this is Jim Watts with the Tulsa World, here with Jimmie Tramel, also with the Tulsa World. We are the Tulsa World Scene Department, and we're here to talk about what's coming up in the next few days in what we do. So, Jimmie, you have something big coming Sunday, I understand.
Well, this Sunday we have what we're terming the ultimate Tulsa pop culture quiz for readers with questions related to movies, television, music, and whatever good stuff I can come up with. And I would love to test drive it by asking you one of the questions.
Okay. I have no idea what he's about to ask, I promise. I've never met this man before.
Okay. The musical group Hanson from Tulsa once a musical guest on Saturday Night Live. Of course, you know the episode was hosted by Helen Hunt, I assume. But anyhow, who was in Twister, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Anyhow, the episode they were in is famous because it was the last episode ever for one of the cast members to sit in the Weekend Update chair. Do you know who that cast member was who made his last appearance as the Weekend Update anchor in that episode?
I can say with the greatest confidence that I have no earthly idea. I haven't watched an episode of Saturday Night Live, and I can't remember. I think Christopher Guest was still in the cast the last time I saw. I do remember the episode where I think it was Charlie Rocket dropped the F-bomb at the very last minute of the show.
40 years ago was the anniversary of that almost.
Oh, goody. Now I really feel young.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so these at least as far as I'm concerned, this sounds like a fairly baffling quiz. How many questions total did you come up with?
Well, I tend to write long, so I cut it off at 20 questions. We could have gone for 50 or 100 because there's so much great pop culture in Tulsa. But for space reasons, we cut it off at 20. And for your sake, there's only one more Saturday Night Live question, and it's from T1.
Okay, well, one needs to be humbled every so often with one's ignorance, and I need that a lot. How onerous a task is it to put together one of these things? I know you've done a couple in the past, and other writers in the past have done these before. I've not had to do one. I've contributed a question or two, but to come up with an entire raft of questions, is this just stuff that you have at your end of your neurons that are just there to call up, or does it take a great deal of research?
Well, sometimes work is work, and sometimes work is fun. And it's fun, to dive into research yesterday and to find whatever I could find. And for people who don't know, we have one of the all-time Total Recall people on our staff named Barry Lewis, one of the writers, who also is has a great knowledge of pop culture. And you have to ask him anything. Say, hey, Barry, what about pop culture in Tulsa? And bam, 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 Barry Lewis hit me with 3. So I leaned hard on Barry Lewis.
Okay. All right. What's a couple of the other, not necessarily to get all the questions out there, but what are some of the topics that perhaps people who want to solve it will need to bone up on before Sunday?
Well, I just tried to spread it out into like classic music figures from Tulsa, probably some more obscure television references that you're just not going to get. So it's probably a harder quiz than people would want because you can't label it the ultimate Tulsa pop culture quiz and all the answers be easy. So it's kind of hard.
Yeah, you do set yourself up for it with the word ultimate in there. So
yes.
We'll have to hold you honest to that. So okay. All right. Well, that sounds like a good way to pass a Sunday afternoon.
Let's go into whatever you've got. Let's move on here to what you've got. What you want to talk about your next restaurant review?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can do that. I'll ask you a question.
Okay.
How many links does it take to make a chain?
As many as it would take to get my belly full, I guess. Not sure.
Well, the reason I asked is the restaurant that we're going to be talking about is called Waldo's Chicken and Beer. And as near as I can figure out, there are only 3 of these in the country, 2 of which are in Tennessee. The one in Tulsa is the first one outside of Tennessee, and obviously the first one in Oklahoma. It's taken over space near 71st and Yale. It used to be, if memory serves me right, a Einstein Brothers bagel shop. And the menu is pretty much what it says. If you're looking for, fish or tofu, this is not the place to go. They have chicken in just about every way you can imagine. Of course, fried. This is Oklahoma, and if it ain't fried, it ain't food. And roast, like rotisserie, they call it flame roasted. Tenders, sandwiches, salads, the like. I'm not sure. I haven't delved. I'm not a beer drinker, so I haven't delved into how extensive the beer part of it is. But that's something that we'll be exploring, and definitely will mention when this appears in Wednesday's March 10 edition. So it's I would say it's worth checking out, and I'll explain why come Wednesday.
Super. Looking forward to that one.
All right. Well, of course, there's a whole lot more that we could talk about with things finally starting to open up and performances taking place, but we'll keep it for now because obviously we have other things to do. So for Jimmie Tramel, this is Jim Watts with the Tulsa World. Thanks for watching.